I know you guys see this quality right now. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shannon. I know it's been a while, but I told you guys this year I'm being consistent and I'm sticking with it. And guess who got a new camera? I am finally able to let my phone rest. Finally. Listen, she's been there since the very first video a year ago in Cabo up until last upload. Shout out to you guys for giving me the motivation to continue investing in myself and in this channel while I bring you along my journey. By the title of today's video, I'm going to be doing a detailed dark skin friendly makeup tutorial while using products that are $20 or less. But at the same time, I'm going to be doing a chit chat with me, life update sort of thing. I'll be linking all the products used in today's video in the description box below with the links associated as well. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, connect with me on all of my social media platforms, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. So as I mentioned before, this video is going to be a makeup tutorial. I tried to keep most of the products under $20 except for my primer, but there is a travel size that you can get, so don't come for me on that one. But while I am doing this makeup tutorial with you guys, I'm going to be doing a life update, chit chat, get ready with me type thing, because there's just so much that I would love to share with y'all. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. What's up, y'all? Like, it's been a minute. It hasn't been that long, but it has been a minute. I was just going through the motions of life, literally. Life since graduating and now having like a full-time job, becoming a real adult, friendships, relationships, family. The list is never ending. I guess our first topic can be life post-grad and what's going on currently. So I graduated from Texas Tech University, go Red Raiders, back in August. And when I literally tell you that my initial plan changed, I think it was during my junior year. I was in shambles just because when I first went to college, like, I was so set on wanting to do nursing and becoming a neonatal nurse practitioner. I don't know, something just kind of was in me. I don't know if it was because I was working during the pandemic and things like that, but I just felt like it wasn't for me. Literally felt like nursing wasn't what I really wanted to do anymore. And being that it was a decision that I made in the middle of my junior year, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Like, I've already completed all of these courses and prerequisites for it. Like, what am I gonna do at this point? I'm supposed to graduate next year. I ended up graduating with a different degree than I had planned for. I always kind of told myself that if I wanted to go back later on in the future and do nursing, like if I still felt like it was something I wanted to do, then I would go ahead and do it, because you're never too old to go back to school. Pretty much, with that being said, I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do when I graduated, but a lot of the jobs in the field that I was looking for were requiring that you already had like X amount of years of experience. So now that brought a lot of stress onto me, because I just felt like I made the wrong decision. I didn't know if what I ended up doing in the end was going to be the right thing. And of course, like with your parents, they're going to be supportive each and every step of the way, but it's like at the same time, I knew that they were kind of like, I don't know if she made the right decision. But if you guys know me in real life, you guys know that I'm somebody who's gonna make it happen each and every time. And also, with the God I serve, even though on paper it might say that you are not qualified, just give him your problems, give him your worries. We'll see who's qualified and who's not. So I graduated in August, and I did have a job lined up. It was one of those things that was more of a, because I need a job right now, I'll take it, but I know I'm not going to be here for a long time. And while I was working there at that specific job, I kept telling myself, like, bro, I'm not doing this next year. Like, I'm not going to work here at this company next year. Like, nobody can pay me enough money to force me or lure me into staying. Like, it's not going to happen. I'm not staying here next year. So I literally kept applying, and if you guys remember, I just said that the jobs that I was looking for were requiring that I had X amount of years of experience. And I was like, okay, unless if I finesse my resume, which I'm not saying I condone, I was like, how is this gonna happen? How is this gonna happen? There were so many rejection letters, so many, we're pleased that you applied, but... And at one point, I just started laughing because it's like every time I refreshed my email, it was kind of like I knew that it was gonna be a rejection letter. But out of all of the ones that I got, like if I were to log in to my Indeed account, the amount of letters is actually very funny. But I say all of this to say that in the process of getting all of these rejections, I never lost hope, I never lost faith. I of course gave the situation to God, and I knew that like he was gonna turn the situation around. There's something that he can do that I can't. You know what I'm saying? Anything you have a problem with, anything you have a question about, anything you're struggling with, just give it to him, and I promise you, he will do miracles that will have you question like, wow, here I was, little me here on earth trying to do this and that, and it wasn't working. But when I gave it to him, instant, things changed. Long story short, I ended up getting an email, I believe it was in November, and they had me begin the interview process. And the interview process for this job, y'all, was like interview after interview after interview. I was like, dang, like what's really going on? And lo and behold, when I really thought that nothing was gonna work out and that I wasn't gonna get it, I got hired. And I tell you, my degree and my past work history has nothing to do with this job. It can only be God. It wasn't luck. It wasn't nothing like that. I was literally over the moon. I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my goodness, like this is really happening to me. Like for real, like somebody's lying. I remember when I got the phone call and I was like, for real? And we both kind of laughed, and I'm sure she was just kind of like, what do you mean for real? But it's like, you don't know what the other person is going through that you're delivering the good news to. She probably doesn't know that I've been applying to jobs since July, August, and I've been getting rejections after rejections after rejections. So this was just something where it was just like, God heard my prayer, God saw all the tears that were shed, God saw the hard work I was doing, and he literally waited until the timing was perfect, until the right position opened for me to open the door and allow me to advance in my career. So in terms of employment, that's going great, that's going well. I didn't know that the corporate girlies really be exhausted the way that I be exhausted each and every day after work. Like, nobody told me that I was gonna be tired like this. Why didn't nobody give me a warning or a disclaimer? I feel like I was lied to. And right now, I've been really trying to do good by going to the gym after work, which I've been keeping up with. I almost fell off this year, I'm not gonna lie, but I literally had to pick myself back up and be like, nah, like the way your body is bodying right now, like if you stop, you're gonna be mad that you stopped, so just keep going. I still live at home with my family, still gotta be active and up for them. I still gotta make sure that I'm spending time with God before nonsense starts happening. I'm still thinking of content ideas to do with y'all, because I love the consistency that I've started this year with. Like last year, I just feel like I wasn't as consistent as I wanted to be, and I do feel like although everything happens for a reason, had I been a little bit more consistent last year, things could have played out differently in terms of my content creating journey. But like I said, everything happens for a reason, so I'm not too pressed about it. I do believe that everything happens for a reason, so we here now. What we gonna do? Are we gonna keep dreading on what we did in the past, or are we gonna switch it around right now in the future? Also, let me tell you guys something. If you haven't graduated yet, let me give you a fair disclaimer. And if you have graduated, you can agree with me. Some people didn't go through this, but the individuals that I did talk to confirmed that this is something that happens across the board. When you graduate, there's this weird period where you feel like there's something due. something due in the sense that there is an assignment that you were supposed to turn in. I literally always felt like there was something due and it was irritating me. I was like, bro, something is wrong. There's no reason why I should be feeling like this. Why am I clocking into work but still thinking like, supposedly it's a super normal feeling. I don't think that's normal. I literally was like, nah, this is crazy, like this is weird. But it eventually faded away, which was perfect because I needed it to go, and I don't need to be thinking about school when I'm not in school. You feel me? Okay, so these are what the brows look like. I did not conceal the top yet. So with today's makeup, I'm gonna do more of like a natural-ish beat. So I'm not gonna go too crazy on eyeshadow like I usually do. I'm most likely not going to be doing lashes either. However, if in the future you guys do want me to do a full and complete beat, just let me know and we'll do it. Like, it's something that you guys won't ask me to do that I won't do. As I prep my eyes, I'm gonna go in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal, put that underneath as our little base. Let's talk about my mental health. Without sharing too much, this year I have discussed with some friends that are very dear to me and even family members about the importance of mental health and how in the African community the idea of someone going to therapy when needed should not be looked down upon or come off as that person has a problem and they need help. And also sometimes people just want to go to therapy to talk to somebody because they don't have anyone to talk to, or someone that isn't going to be biased or have opinions due to the fact that they, one, know the person, two, know the other individuals involved in the situation, or three, have any sort of linkage or ties to what situation the person could possibly be talking about. I feel like the last 2 years of my life was a complete turnaround that I was not expecting. And although at the moment I was upset with some of the things that had occurred, I'm looking back at it now and I'm honestly kind of happy with the way things turned out, simply because I grew as a person. I've learned from certain situations. I've been able to realize quickly things that I will and will not tolerate that back then I would try to just hold on to and drag just because I didn't want to be the bad person. And with me saying that, I talked to some friends and family members about us needing to not look down on people in the African community about wanting to go to therapy. That's not to say that my parents and my people at home or my family members look down on it. No, they don't. If anything, they encourage it for anyone who would like to go and do so. But more so, it's about the outward African community. And I know some people can oftentimes read into it too much and try to do this thing of pleasing others or trying to shield their name in the spotlight just because they don't want to be talked down upon. So with all of that, I come to say, if you know you need to take care of yourself, take care of yourself. Don't be worrying about what's her face name and what's his face name. Don't do it. And if it ends up being someone in your family that's deterring you from your destiny and your purpose and things like that, and they're constantly putting you down, constantly making you feel like you're nothing, go ahead and do what you need to do. That's all I have to say. I'm going to do a nude-ish / brown kind of smoky eye look. Nothing crazy like I mentioned before. This is going to be more of a natural beat, so I'm going to try and keep everything as natural looking as possible. To continue on the topic of how I've been regulating my mental health, this also comes to the people that I allow in my life, in my circle, in my business, in my tea. You know what I'm saying? Friendships. Very, very important factors due to the fact that you speak with these people on a daily basis. You cry with them, pray with them, laugh with them. I tell you this in hopes that you will hear me. Trying to stick with certain individuals just because of the duration of the time that you've known them for, or because you don't want to hurt their feelings, or because you don't want to be lonely without them, is going to put your mental health in a very, very bad position that you don't want to be in. Like I mentioned before, everything happens for a reason, and it's not to say that you need to have beef with all of those people. There's people that you can literally be cordial with, but you can love them from a distance, and it doesn't mean that you have to literally wish ill on them or nothing like that. But be aware, there are some people like that out there. As I've been making new friends, I refrain from opening too much. If I see one red flag, holding on to them. I refrain from the ones that are not on the same life path that I'm in. I try to not find people who are similar as me, because there's no one that's like you. You know what I'm saying? You're one of a kind. But people who have the same values, the same goals, the same thought processes as you. Because if you don't have any of those, if not all of them, that's how you end up having a lot of very much surface level friends. And also, the importance of learning the categories of friendships that people play in your life are very important. Not everyone is your best friend. Not everyone is your best friend, and that is something that I had to learn. And to be honest, my mom been told me. But you know, when you're younger, like, you don't want to listen to her. You want to be like, no, you don't know her. Like, that's my homegirl. Da, 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 da. Yeah, okay. In addition to friendships, though, we also have men. Let me tell you something. Having 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 niggas in your phone sounds lit and everything, but I promise you, it can be exhausting. And I think also, to say all of that, not saying I had 5, 10, 25 you can't say that on YouTube. But with the way that I am, with the way that my life is moving right now, I don't have the mental capacity to want to do that. And I'm also at the point right now with everything that is going on with me in terms of my career path, wanting to think of new content ideas, bettering myself mentally, physically, spiritually, all of that. I really don't have time for anyone who is not on the same level as me, or anyone who is trying to help me be better at any of those things. And if you're a girl, you know exactly what all of these men want now. I'm telling you, it's like the times that we're living in right now is actually kind of crazy, because all of them are the same. And that's not to say that I'm blocked off to getting to know someone and things like that. Even though I say like all guys are the same, I'm not saying it literally, but I'm saying it with the idea that I'm prepared for that. And it's actually not a really good thing to say, but hey, y'all push us here at this point. If the right person comes along right now, that's cool. If the right person doesn't, that's cool too. We're just gonna have to see who's in my phone right now that qualifies. I just went in with my concealer and concealed my under eyes before I prep my skin for foundation. If y'all are not using this primer on your face, are you even priming yourself correctly? I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely supposed to do this before my concealer, but we still gonna make it work. It's still gonna be alright. And it smells really good, actually. I can't even describe what it is. Like I mentioned before, I did try to keep all of these products under $20, but my primer ran up to be, I think it was like 20 something. I really don't remember. I'll have to look it up on the Sephora app and put it either on the screen or in the description box, but they do have a mini size. So if y'all want to like put this with your carry-on and your travel bags, you can go ahead and do that. Ooh, let's talk about hobbies. Last year, from January up until I want to say March, I did do like a social media fast, or like a social media break. I'm gonna use this time to start figuring out like what hobbies I want to do. At the time, I'd already known that I wanted to do YouTube, so like that didn't count. But I wanted to actually see, like, in addition to me going to the gym, what else do I really enjoy doing? And when I was younger, I loved reading books, but it never really stuck with me like that. I don't know why. And so I did kind of start it back up. But once I re-downloaded those apps, yeah, I didn't get back into it. So hopefully this year I will be able to do so. If you guys have any book recommendations, please do let me know. I did get a few books when I graduated from family members that are literally on my bookshelf in my room as we speak, but I just simply haven't touched them yet. And I think I'm going to go into April with a new state of mind and start to read again. But yeah, going to the gym is definitely something that we're not getting rid of anytime soon. And at first when I started going, it wasn't that easy because you think of all the pain you're gonna go through, you think of how tired you're gonna be after, but I came to learn it's not being in the gym that's hard, it's actually getting up and going. It's gotten to the point now where if I wake up and I know, like, okay, Shannon, you need to hit your 4 to 5 days this week in the gym. If I wake up and I don't go, I literally, kid you not, I feel like crap the entire day until I go. Now, when I come out of the gym, will I be sore and tired? Yes. But when I'm in my two-piece in Dubai or wherever I'm going this year, who's gonna be happy? And also, let's say that you started your day off really rough and you had a stressful day at work, or there's stuff going on at home, stuff in your friendship, stuff in your relationship. Going to the gym is gonna give you, or at least it gives me, a sense of mind, it gives me a sense of clarity. It lets me just kind of let everything out and focus on that in that moment. And then when I come home, I'm a completely different person. I just feel like all of that load is off of me. My shoulders feel so much lighter, so on and so forth. I feel like one of these days I'm gonna have to do a story time with y'all because there's a lot that has happened in my life per se, but at the same time, I don't like to overshare because that's how you end up making people think that they know too much about you and your life and they can be all in your business. And it's like, I didn't say you could do all that. I think a couple of days ago, I just heard about Instagram and Facebook no longer paying content creators. And I want to know how this is going to play out with the whole thing of TikTok possibly being banned in the US. Like, what's going to happen now? Like, are there going to be future websites and platforms for content creators to then move on to continue and promote their businesses? I really wonder where this is going to take us. And just hearing all of this as an aspiring up and coming content creator, it worries me, but at the same time, it just pushes me and motivates me to know that I need to take this YouTube stuff more seriously. Since we're on the topic of content creating and YouTube, we can go ahead and talk about that too. I completely forgot about that. So if you guys know me, you guys being my childhood friends and family members, you know that my YouTube journey started way before 2022. I'm talking 2009, 2012. I really thought that I was that girl. I thought that I could do it all. I thought that I could sing. I thought that I could dance. Wish I could, don't get it twisted. I was on a competition team for a couple years, so you know I could dance. But at this time, I really thought that because people were getting discovered on YouTube that I could just put my videos out there and end up being the next Justin Bieber. I don't know where those videos are and I really wish I could retrieve them because they were top tier, like they were funny. But besides that, even on Facebook, like I would make little stop motions when I was younger with like myself, my friends, even my little brother. And I've always just known that there was a passion within me to want to do something in the YouTube realm. I am putting this powder on my face because I really do want this to be a matte-ish look and I want the foundation to actually stick on my face. This is going to help, of course, but because I have combination dry and oily, sometimes my oiliness might overpower the primer that I'm putting on. So I just went in with my Airspun loose face powder and put a little bit all over my face before going in and putting my foundation. I'm going to be using the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation in the shade Cocoa. I wasn't able to find this in the store recently in the bottle. Sounds a little empty, so let's see if we have enough in here. With that being said, I believe it was in like 2020 when lockdown happened And I was just like, I'm spending all this time in my room, I'm doing school at home, I'm not working. When I'm not doing homework, I'm on my phone. And that was when TikTok really started to pop, and I was just seeing so many people really like doing the thing. Like, people were doing their YouTube videos, people were doing little tutorials on TikTok and things like that, and people were actually getting like TikTok famous. And I remember I just kept being like, yo, like, I need to start my YouTube channel, I need to start my YouTube channel. If you guys remember in the previous topics where I brought up the energy that you allow in your life, I can definitely say that if you have a passion and you have a dream to do something, but you are literally filled with negative energy around you, and people saying things like, oh, people are already doing YouTube, like, what are you gonna do that's different that will make people want to subscribe to you? Oh, you're doing YouTube, why do you want to do YouTube? Instead of words of encouragement, you're definitely gonna be postponing your destiny and your passion. And of course, you can tell somebody, like, why would you listen to what other people were saying? Why didn't you do what you were doing? To be fair, I was younger. I, once again, was in the mindset of wanting to please other people, which I am proud to say that I am no longer doing. But anyways, I'm not saying all of this to blame anyone but myself, because other people will not make decisions for you but you. Above all of that, maybe at that time, if I had started YouTube, I would have been consistent. I probably would have dropped one video and that video would have been it. I probably wouldn't have had the drive and the motivation like I do now to actually want to figure out ideas to bring to you guys, record it, and put it out there. So in a sense, am I upset that I didn't start it earlier? Yes. But am I gonna sit here and dwell on it and cry about it and be like, ugh, I could have, you know, been reached my milestones? No, because I already know that whatever is to happen from this point onward is going to be so much better than what it could have been way back then. Literally, all of my family, all of my friends, you're always taking pictures, you're always taking videos. When are you gonna start the YouTube channel? If I'm not mistaken, it was last year when I was planning my Cabo trip with my friends that I was like, I think I want to vlog this trip. And they were like, girl, go ahead, like, do it. You're already doing all these other things. What's holding you back from just taking out your camera and doing it? And even if nobody else believes in you, believe in yourself. You don't know who is watching. When I literally tell you the feedback that I get from people that I haven't talked to since middle school, people that I haven't talked to since elementary school, since high school, are literally texting me, calling me, commenting on my videos with words of encouragement. And it's just like, wow. Let me tell you something. It's usually the people that are not closest to you that are watching, that are actually motivated and love to see what you do. Overall, I love it here. I'm not leaving. I'm not going nowhere. I started this, so I'm gonna finish it. We gonna be here till the wheels fall off. You feel me? I'm really trying to not wear wigs as much because my hair needs to breathe underneath, my edges need to breathe, but I'm also kind of just trying to learn a little bit more about my hair and what I can do with it besides always putting it in a bun. Being a natural babe is actually very draining. I did buy some products and I'm going to actually do a couple little natural hairstyle tries. And fingers crossed I come up with something that I like to do on myself besides my little high up bun or my little slick back bun. While my edges are in the process of being laid, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this part of my face. I'm not gonna do my foundation up here just yet because if I do it right now and I take off my scarf, there's going to be a line and we don't want that happening. But overall, life has been good, life has been great. I really cannot complain too much. You guys already know I'm a travel babe. That's what I do, that's in my blood. I've been slacking a little bit, but granted, it's only April, so give me some slack. I do have a couple trips lined up for this year already, and I'm super excited for you guys to see them. It's just something about the joy that you get being in a different state, in a different country, than being in Dallas, Texas. Like, every time I come back from a trip, I'm just like, get me out of here. Life as an adult, I know I'm still a baby, I'm still 23, so I don't want to hear nothing in the comments about it. But the way that I could actively be outside like I was when I was 20, 21, 22, I can't hang no more. When I tell you guys, I used to be an outside babe. I used to be an outside babe. It wasn't bad or anything, of course. Like, I still live at home with my parents. They're not just letting me go roam the streets of Dallas, Texas until 6 a.m. every night. Like, that's crazy. Granted that it was the weekend coming up and I didn't have to work, I was outside with my girls. And this is no judgment, no tea, no shade to anybody who still does this, whether they're younger than me or older than me. But I physically literally just cannot hang. I think it was when I graduated that I realized this. I went out with my friends, we celebrated and everything, and I was literally out in the club in the section, and I was just sitting there and I was just like, I'm kind of tired of this. It could have been because I was doing it a little too much back to back to back to back. It was almost like, what's the purpose? I go out with my friends, I'm in a section for a couple hours, we go home, we do the same thing again, we come home, we do the same thing again. It was just like, I need something different, something more enticing. Like, one thing about me, I love to go dress up and get cute and go to dinner or go get drinks. That's something I will never get over. But let's do something else. Like, let's go bowling, let's go painting, like, let's go actually do an activity that we don't usually do on the regular, besides let's just always be outside. And like I said, if you guys see me outside this year, don't come and be like, Shannon, but you said you were tired. No, what I said was, I don't like doing it Thursday through Sunday. I was just thinking to myself the other day that when I graduated, I really did think that I was gonna go back and get my master's in like healthcare administration, but I forgot that I was supposed to be doing that around this time this year. If you remember me saying that I did not think my life was going to go the way that it is going right now, completely forgot, completely passed my mind. I don't think at the moment with what I want to do in my career in the future that necessarily going back to school and getting my master's in that specific field will help in any type of way, but it's still something that I'm open to doing in the future. One thing we need to always do, and make sure we do it in an even amount, is set our under eye, because we do not need creasing, we do not need no flashback, we don't need none of that. Like, we need this to be top tier. I'm actually going to go ahead and just pull this back a little bit because I don't need that much room to work with if we're being realistic. Finish out the rest of my face. It is so important to take the time to date yourself, learn your flaws, learn your characteristics, learn the things you do and don't like, do the things that make you happy before you go and find those things that bring you happiness in someone or something else. And I remember like when my cousins would tell me that they like go out to eat by themselves and things like that, that was weird and foreign. And of course, don't get me wrong, while I have gone a couple times by myself, it has definitely been nerve-wracking because I'm always wondering, is someone thinking that I'm by myself, that I got stood up? Are they gonna ask if I'm okay? Because I promise you I'm okay, I just want to go and eat by myself. But then I came to realize that nobody really cares. Like, people are really just minding their business at the end of the day. And I actually do really enjoy going out by myself. Of course, once I get past the whole thing of me being in my head and being concerned about what other people are thinking. I think self-love dates are very, very important, especially in the age group that I'm in right now, where a lot of the women are primarily focused on, I'm not going out if a man doesn't take me out, or I'm not going out if a man's not taking care of my bill. Girl, let me tell you something. Life will go on with or without that person. We are almost done. This is what it looks like. I'm not even done and it already looks like $1 million, okay? If you don't use blush, you guys need to use blush. I got this blush from Ulta. This is just Revolution. It's not anything crazy or fancy, but it still gets the job done. Just don't go a little too crazy. Do a couple little taps. Make sure that it's the right amount to your desired look. And just put it on that cheekbone. Like, wow. And then after you put on your blush, don't forget to do your highlight. one thing with makeup is to always remember a little bit goes a long way, literally. Don't be splattering a whole chunk of foundation on your face. You're gonna look very cakey. Don't put too much blush. You might end up putting too much. Don't put too much highlighter. You might put too much. Always start with a small, generous amount and work your way up if needed. I'm just going to touch up a couple more places before I go ahead and set my entire face. I'm going to go in with my Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray by Charlotte Tilbury. I got this from Sephora as well. If this one, I believe, is this one the travel size? I think it might be. If it's not, there is a smaller one that they have as well. And now we wait for it to dry. My setting spray has fully dried, and the last step that I now need to do is to just put a little bit of brown lip liner and go in with my lip gloss to finalize the look. Yesterday when I went to the beauty supply store for hair products, one item, if we're being honest, I ended up leaving with like 20 things in my cart. I don't know how that happened. I did need to get a new lip liner because the one that I usually use is just the same one that I use for my eyebrows, but I actually wanted to give this Kiss New York Luxury 24-hour lip liner a chance. Something that I've been really trying to get into but seem to just not be able to fully like step foot in is applying lipstick. I don't know if it's because when I was younger I was always made fun of having bigger lips and I just didn't like the way it looked on me, but I would really love to just do a real nice dark red, dark brown type of vibe. Maybe in my next makeup tutorial y'all will see me with lipstick instead of lip gloss. This brown is a little too light for my liking. I think I'm gonna go ahead and top it up with the brow pencil that I used earlier. And here is our completed look. I'm telling you, it's giving very natural but still very much, who did your makeup? If you guys know me, you know I love an eyelash look, but there's something about the no eyelash look that just makes it look so much, I don't even know like what word I would use to explain this right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this detailed makeup tutorial while I shared some things with you guys about me as well. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to connect with me on all of my social media platforms. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, loves.